let me turn to enrollment growth. Last year, we had an all-time high enrollment of 11,500 students. This year, we have an all-time high enrollment of 11,800 students, or 798 to be precise. In 2006, our enrollment was 10,200 students, which means we've grown by almost 1,600 students in 4 years. That's very healthy, that's very substantial. Many schools want to grow, especially in this day and age when state aid is so limited and we depend more and more on tuition. But there's another fact. For years, and when I first got to Rutgers-Newark 13 years ago, the enrollment had been declining every year for 10 or 12 years, and there was a reason. Students and their parents were scared of Newark. What? Go into Newark? Literally, the fear of Newark was a negative. We have long bypassed that. That is gone. We don't have the fear of Newark. The word about the quality of education students get here is spreading, and it's being reflected in the growth in enrollment. And one of the vice presidents in New Brunswick, Courtney McAniff, did a briefing for me and Gary Roth, I think yesterday, and said, Steve Diner, I know you don't care about SAT scores, but your SAT scores are actually up. So we went up by 2 points or something, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I just don't think it means very much one way or the other. The important thing is that we take students, and particularly students from modest backgrounds. We don't keep students from modest and poor backgrounds out because they don't test well on standardized tests that are not terribly well correlated with success anyhow. But anyhow, so our enrollment has grown. Another very good piece of news is the growth in external grant funding. And this is a tribute to our faculty, to our deans. In particular, Dean Yeagle has done a great deal to foster external grants by faculty, especially in the sciences, but really in all disciplines. In fiscal year 2008, we had external grants of about $19,500,000 or so. In fiscal year 2009, that jumped to 26 million, little over 26 million, and it's jumped again this year to 30 million. That's really very impressive, and that shows hard work on the part of faculty. It shows that faculty, even in an ever-tightening environment, are becoming increasingly competitive in their proposals, and it shows that key administrators like the dean and others have put resources into helping faculty put these grants together. But that's a very, very encouraging sign to indicate that things are indeed going very, very well on the faculty side. Private fundraising, on the other hand, is down. But it's down across the whole country, and it's down across all of Rutgers. It's not unique to us. It was down last year. However, this year, we are significantly ahead of last year in fundraising, and I don't want to make any predictions yet, but at the moment, things are looking better than they looked last year, and last year was just a tough year for us and probably every university in the country. I also want to talk a bit about the new faculty we have recruited. This was a bumper crop, if we ever had one, of new faculty. For various reasons, we had many, many new faculty recruited this year, despite the fears about budget, than we've had in previous years. We have 52 new tenure track, or clinical faculty this year. I mean, that's huge. Since we have a total on the campus of something over 500 faculty. So that's a lot. There were a lot of vacancies that were being held until new deans came. There were certain commitments to deans. There were a bunch of retirements. It's not like we're flush with money, but nonetheless, we were able to make these appointments. And first of all, we have appointed fabulous people. If any of you came to the reception we had for new faculty and looked at their bios, you see the caliber of people we're able to recruit. That's been true for a long time. I think we had a bit of an advantage this year since some schools weren't recruiting at all. And so, we had an even better chance of getting the very best people we wanted. But last year, I reported that we had accomplished exceptional diversity in the new faculty we recruited, and I gave you some figures on that. Well, I'm delighted to report that the same thing has happened this year. We've really had extraordinary diversity in this top flight faculty we've recruited. And I think a lot of that credit goes to the faculty itself, because the faculty really initiate faculty appointments, and to the deans. The deans have really emphasized across Rutgers-Newark how important diversity is in the recruitment of faculty. So just to give you a sense of the numbers, I mentioned there are 52 new tenure track, or clinical faculty. 26 of them are men, 26 are women. 46% of those new faculty are non-white, 8 are African American, 14 Asian American, and 2 Hispanic. 13 of the new faculty come from countries other than the United States. That is, they're born and educated outside the United States. 5 from China, 2 from the Philippines, 1 from Greece, Turkey, Israel, Korea, Britain, and Peru. So we really have diversified our faculty in an extraordinary way and improved the quality of the faculty in terms of the people we've been able to recruit. And I take great satisfaction. And it's not my doing. It's really the doing of the faculty who do the recruiting and the deans. But I think we can all take a lot of satisfaction in that. Many factors go into decisions about why a top-rate faculty member who might have a variety of choices will come here. And we all know the best research universities are competing for the very best faculty. And I think we have a couple of great advantages other than, we have deans and faculty who are really, committed to recruiting and recruiting with diversity. The diversity of our student body, from every faculty member I talk to, new faculty member, they tell me the diversity of the student body here is an enormous lure. And this is not minority faculty, this is all faculty. White faculty, black, Asian, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. They really love the extraordinary mix of faculty, of students we have on this campus. And they love teaching that mix, and they see how exciting it is in the classroom to have all the cultures of the world, many of the religions of the world represented in the classroom. So I think that's been a big plus. I also hear from many new faculty that they really love our location, in that they're very eager to engage with the city of Newark. They see that as exciting. It varies by field and depends what they work on. And also our proximity to New York City, of course, has always been and continues to be a major asset. But for all kinds of reasons, we're doing very, very well attracting a top-rate faculty, and I think we can all take great satisfaction in that. And a very diverse faculty. Doesn't quite mirror the student body yet, but we're getting there. We really are getting there. And by national standards, we may now have one of the most diverse faculties of any research university in the country. I haven't seen any studies of that, but I would guess that we probably would rank very, very highly. Let me turn to some of the new academic initiatives that are going on. And that's, after all, the heart of what we're about. This year, a continuing planning is going on for the implementation of the new undergraduate curriculum, in which students will have to do 2 concentrations. We've limited distribution requirements and it'll encourage students to take 2 concentrations. Well, they'll have to take 2 concentrations, and they'll be doing more upper-level work, more focused work. I think that's a fabulous thing developed by the arts and science faculty, and now in the planning for implementation. Last year, I appointed a task force on community-based learning to just look at what we do in the way of teaching and learning connected to our surrounding community. The group struggled for quite a while just to find out all the things we were doing. We were doing a lot, but there was no one database. But we eventually pulled all of this in. And the committee recommended that we set up a program to provide support for faculty to increase community-based learning, and that program is now being headed by Pat Kettering, who's in the School of Public Affairs Administration, and she's working very closely with Mark Winston, Assistant Chancellor, who's overseeing that initiative.